period. That's number one. And number two, the idea.
Hey.
The idea
Better late than never. Let's get it going.
Along the line. We've done more for veterans than any president has in American history. And they now are their family. The only sacred obligation we have as a country is to care for our veterans when they come home and their families and equip them when they go to war. That's what we're doing. That's what the VA is doing now. They're doing more for veterans than ever before in our history.
All right, thank you so much.
Let me know how you're doing on sound.
Foreign policy. I want to begin with Russia's war against Ukraine, which is now in its third year. Former President Trump, Russian President Vladimir Putin says he'll only end this war if Russia keeps the Ukrainian territory it has already claimed and Ukraine abandons its bid to join NATO. Are Putin's terms acceptable to you?
First of all, our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. They can't stand him. They think he's the worst commander-in-chief.
Hey. We good on sound?
That we've ever had.
But better late than never.
So let's get that
Let's
straight.
get this party started.
And they like me more than just about any of them. And that's based on every single bit of information. As far as Russia and Ukraine, we had a real president, the president that knew, that was respected.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here to do the screaming for you.
Never invaded Ukraine. A lot of people are dead right now, much more than people know. You know, they talk about numbers. You can double those.
Got a
numbers,
little bit of
maybe
windblown
triple those
hair.
numbers.
Okay,
He
good.
did nothing to stop it. In fact, I think he encouraged.
Before y'all
Russia to
ask,
go
did I
in.
run out right
I'll tell you
after?
what happened. It was so
Absolutely.
bad with Afghanistan. It was such a
Do not
horrible,
ask about the speed on the
embarrassing,
highway.
most embarrassing
That's
moment in
between
the
me
history of
and
our
the
country.
Lord.
That when Putin watched that and he saw the incompetence, that he should have fired those generals, like I fired the one that you mentioned.
Arena, go lay
So he's
down,
got no
darling.
loss, but he should have fired those generals. No general got fired for the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country.
Oh, can you tell the truth?
Where we left billions of
Because
dollars of equipment
I guess you ain't
behind.
trying to
We
shame the
lost
devil. He
13
your twin.
beautiful soldiers,
He's your
and
reflection.
38 soldiers were obliterated. And by the way, we left people behind too. We left American citizens behind.
And why did we
When
leave
Putin saw
American
that, he
citizens
said,
behind?
"You know what?
Behind Trump.
I think we're going to go in and maybe take my. This was his dream. I talked to him about it. His dream. The difference is he never would have invaded Ukraine. Never. Just like Israel would have never been invaded.
You didn't talk to
In a
Putin.
million
Putin
years,
said you
that
didn't
house.
talk to him. Did
You
you
know
miss
why?
that? I didn't miss
Because
that.
Iran
I
was
seen
broke
it. Did you
with
see
me.
it? Because I
wouldn't let
seen it.
anybody do business with them. They ran out of money. They were broke. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money for anything. No money for
When was
terror.
they paying
That's why there
Hamas?
was no terror at all
What?
during my administration.
What?
This place, the whole world is blowing up. under
Israel
him.
was the one terrorizing Palestine
Everybody?
while you were in office. You just weren't paying no attention. I remember. You remember? I remember.
Let's take the last point first. Iran attacked American troops, caused brain damage for a number of these troops, and he did nothing about it. Recently, not when he was president.
Joe is lost. They both lost.
He
Joe
said
is
he
lost
did
in the
the
south of the
same
bullshit
thing.
that's coming out of Trump's
He
face.
didn't do a thing when the attack took place. Number one. Number
Shit,
two,
I'm just sitting here trying to swim through it. It's thick. It is thick as hell. It's almost as thick as the diarrhea that people are trying to rain on my parade because today I thought I was cute and they want to trauma dump in my comment section, but we'll get to that later.
Trump did in Ukraine. This guy told Trump, do whatever you want and do whatever
Not
you
JoJo.
want. And that's exactly what Trump did.
Get out right
Putin
now.
encouraged him, do whatever you want. And he went in. Listen to what he said when he went in. He was going to take Kyiv in 5 days. Remember?
Joe, did you have some Botox before here? Because it is looking like somebody taking their thumbs and pressing the side of your forehead up. What the hell? What the hell? Did you have a chemical peel and some Botox? Did you have a Botox party before this, Joe?
President Trump,
I never said that.
You did say that.
I just want to go back to my original question,
Donnie?
which is,
Oh,
Putin's
Donnie
terms
boy,
acceptable to you? Keeping the territory
the
in Ukraine.
truth
No,
is
they're
not
acceptable.
in
But
you.
look, this is a war that never should have started. If we had a leader in this war, he led everybody along. He's given $200
Leader?
billion now.
You
or
couldn't
more
even lead a bitch
to
into
Ukraine.
an
He's given
affair the
$200
proper way.
billion. That's a lot of money. I don't think there's ever been anything like it. Every time that
Do you know what a lot of
Zelensky
money
comes
is?
to
Because
this
I don't
country,
think
he
you
walks
do.
away with $60
I don't
billion. He's
think
the
you
greatest
do.
salesman ever. And I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking anything.
I
I'm
want to
only
knock
saying
you between the wall and the
money that
refrigerator,
we're
allegedly.
spending on this war, and we shouldn't be spending. It should have never happened.
Ooh, the memes of the
I would
eyes are
have
going to
that
be,
war
whoo.
settled between Putin and Zelensky as president-elect.
No, you
before I
wouldn't
took
have. And
office on
Zelensky
January
called you
4th.
out.
I want
Zelensky
that war
said, hey,
settled.
Trump, Hey,
People
Trump,
being
come on
killed
over
so
here. Come see how
needlessly,
things
so
work. If you can
stupidly.
end this, come
And
end it.
I
What
will
did
get
you
it
do?
settled, and I'll
You
get
went
it settled
radio
fast before I
silent.
take
Zelensky
office.
called you out, bruh.
The fact is that Putin is a war criminal. He's
Thank
killed
you. But so are you,
thousands
Joe.
and thousands of people. And
So
he has
are
made
you,
one
Joe.
thing
Like
clear.
pot
He
kettle.
wants
Say
to
hey.
reestablish what was
So is your
part of the
homeboy
Soviet
BB from
Empire,
Philly.
not just the first ones, all of Ukraine. That's what he wants.
You know,
now
your little
think he'll
Polish
stop
buddy
there?
from Philly,
You think
whose
he'll
son is
stop
currently
when
down in
he
Miami.
he
Welcome
takes
to
Ukraine? What do you
Miami.
think happens to Poland? What do you think happens to those NATO
So
countries? And so if
well,
you
before
want to
y'all
know,
ask,
you ought to find out what he's going to
was
do,
I
because
chomping
if,
down
in
on
fact, he
candy
does
during
what
this
he
funeral?
says and walks
Absolutely.
away,
Am I
by the
completely
way,
hyper right now?
all that
Absolutely.
money
Will I
went to
probably be
Ukrainians.
up till
Weapons were
tomorrow?
actually in the United States. We
Absolutely.
give them the weapons, not the money at this point. And our NATO allies have produced as much funding for Ukraine as we have. That's why we're strong.
Thank you. Moving on to the
Trump
Middle
didn't
East.
like that. Did y'all see
In
his gobble
October,
gobble
Hamas
shake?
attacked Israel, killing more than 1,000 people and taking hundreds of hostages.
Oh, now the
Among
moderator's
those held
lying
and
too.
thought to still
But we
be
already
alive
know
are
that's not
5
what happened with
Americans.
Hamas and Israel.
Israel's response has killed thousands of Palestinians and created a humanitarian
Killed most of them.
crisis in
Killed
Gaza.
most of them.
President Biden,
It's caused the
he's put forward
genocide.
a proposal
Genocide.
to
Just say
stop
it.
this
It don't hurt
conflict.
you to say it.
But so far, Hamas has not released the remaining hostages, and Israel
Because
is
Israel doesn't
continuing
want
its
them.
military offensive in Gaza.
And we don't know how
So
many
what
hostages
additional leverage
Israel
will we
has,
use
pretending that
to get
Hamas has
and
them, and
Israel
how many
to end
Hamas
the
has.
war?
Because
We have 2
Hamas even let the little girl keep her
Everyone.
dog with her.
Everyone,
That don't
so
seem
the
like such
reason
bad
I use the
conditions. I'm just
Security
saying.
Council
If I'm gonna get
straight to the
kidnapped, I would
G7,
prefer
and
Hamas
Israel
to
has
kidnap me. I'm
themselves
just
have
saying.
endorsed the
Now
plan to
Israel,
Putin.
on the other hand,
Endorsed the plan
we
to
done
Putin.
heard about them
It's a
raping and
six-stage
beating and
thing.
everything
The
else,
first stage is
everybody.
trade,
Mhm. And that lets you know that they are U.S. trained. Because what do the U.S.
Second
do?
phase is a
Allegedly.
ceasefire with additional conditions.
Allegedly.
The third phase is the end of the war. The only one who wants the war to continue is Hamas. Number one. They're the only ones
I think he had his Botox injections too
hard
close to this debate.
to get them to accept. In the meantime, what's
He should
happened
have had
in
Diet
Israel, which
Coke,
honestly, the only thing
like
I've
Trump.
denied Israel was 2,000
Catch the double
pound bombs.
entendres
And that
tonight.
worked
Catch the
really
double
well,
entendres.
popular
I'm
hearing, but for a lot of
trying
innocent
for
people,
once during a
provided
debate
Israel all the
not
weapons
to
they
get
need,
paused
and
or
by
sanctioned
the way,
during this
I'm the
debate.
guy that
Are we gonna make it
organized
through
the
like
war
that? We'll
against
see.
Iran when they had a
We'll
full-blown
see.
intercontinental ballistic missile attack on Israel. No one was hurt. No
Trump
one
thinking.
Israeli
He
was
thinking.
accidentally killed.
I see the
And
wheels are
to
turning,
stop. He
turning
says
round the
Israel, we are the
bend.
biggest
He's
concern
churning
against
out
it.
another
It's
lie.
successful
Let's
Israel
see
won't
what
win
says
the war.
again.
And so they're two different things. Hamas cannot
Hey,
be allowed to be continued.
sir.
We continue to send our experts and our intelligence people to how they can get Hamas.
I know they didn't
like we
invite
did
you
them
to the
now.
debate,
You don't have to do it.
but you
And
still
by the
trying to
way,
get on the
they've
ballots in all 50
greatly weakened
states.
Hamas. Greatly weakened.
And
They
have you
should be.
picked a
They
vice
should be
president?
eliminated. But you've got to be
Puppers,
careful for what using certain weapons
Puppers
among
2024.
population centers. Stand back, Ukraine, for 1 second.
The debate is that
We
way.
have an
Argue with
ocean
them.
separating us. The European nations together have spent 100 billion or maybe more than that.
I
less
thought you
than
said
us.
that they wasn't spending money.
Why doesn't he call them and say you got to put up your money like I did with NATO? I got them to
Because
put
the
up
United
hundreds of
States
billions
is
of dollars. The
not
Secretary General
a
of NATO
creditor.
said,
They
"Don't
are
give the
not
most
bill. We're
incredible
not bill
job I've ever
collectors.
seen."
Hell, we
No,
owe the
they didn't
globe.
have any- they
Did
were
you
going out of
forget? Do
business.
you
We were
know who
spending
really
almost
owns this
100%
country?
of the
Because it
money
ain't
was-
us.
it was-
We got all these
He didn't do
billionaires
that.
and billionaires over
He's
here.
not
We
doing that.
don't
He let us
have.
just-
We don't have a pink slip to the United States.
Y'all
Y'all came up here and stole it from the Native Americans and then gave away the pink slip. Y'all trying to race the Chinese to the finish line to get the pink slip back with no nos tank.
And you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't like him. He's become like a Palestinian.
Biden,
But
woo!
they don't like him because he's a
Where's your
very
hospice nurse?
Palestinian.
Shit.
President
I
Biden
know
will-
it's mind blowing. It is mind blowing. You shouldn't have said it's foolishness. You should have said it's bullshit. CNN on a delay. You can say bullshit. They'll bleep it out. Allegedly. What?
What happens if in fact you have
It ain't my fault. I told you to properly register so you could be a part of the debate.
Attack on one is attack on all. You want to start the nuclear war he keeps talking about, go ahead. Let Putin go in.
Don't get mad at me. Well, what is your platform? The people are listening. What's your platform?
See what happens then.
You gonna give them some?
There's no idea
If you
what
give them
those
cold
companies-
hard cash,
50
Yeah,
other nations
a
around
little
the world.
universal health care. Can we get that? Oh, okay,
According
you
to
down
Japan,
for the universal
South
health care?
Korea,
Okay.
is they understand that
Can we
this-
do
this kind of
siestas?
dislocation
Because I feel
is a
like
serious
siestas
threat
are
to
very.
the whole
Oh, you going
workplace.
upstairs now? Okay.
No
No
major world
siestas, but we get some
representative
universal
can
health care and
just
some
do
coins from Puppers. Puppers
President Trump,
2024.
just
There
to
we
follow
go.
up, would you support the creation of an independent Palestinian state in order to achieve peace in the region?
I'd have to see, but before we do that,
You'd have to see
the
what.
problem we have is that we spend all the money. So they
We
can't
know
afford
you like to
to
spend all the
make
money.
great
You're the
trade
only
deals with
person in the
European
history of
nations.
casinos to
Because if
bankrupt
you
a
add them up,
casino
they're
as an
about the same
owner.
size economically.
Like the fuck?
Their economy
How
is
you
about
do
the
that?
same size
Where
as
they
the
do that
United
at? Oh,
States.
that's right,
And they
Atlantic
don't
City.
they don't want anything that we have, but we're supposed to take their cars, their food, their everything, their agriculture. I changed that. But the big thing I changed is they don't want to pay. And the only reason that
Why
can
y'all got
play
American?
games with
Why y'all got
NATO
U.S. flag
is because
pins
I got
on?
them to put up
We
hundreds
know
of
what
billions
country
of
you in.
dollars. I said,
We
I
know
was
what you
right
run
about
with.
this.
This
I
ain't the
said,
G.
no,
You know what?
I'm not going to support NATO if you don't pay.
I'm not
They
gonna
asked
support
me that
NATO if you
question.
don't
Would
pay.
you
You
join us
don't pay
against
your
Russia?
bills.
At a very
And we know
secret
you don't pay
meeting of
hookers.
28
Damn,
states
didn't
at that
nobody
time,
learn
nations
anything
at
from
that
Jerry
time.
Springer?
I
At
said,
least
no, if
he
you
paid. I
don't
mean, he
pay,
paid with a
I
check.
won't do
Well,
that. And you know what happened?
so did you,
Billions and
Trump, when you
billions
finally
of dollars
decided
came
to
flowing
pay.
in the
Y'all didn't
next
learn
day and the
shit.
next months.
Quit paying
Now we're in
hookers
the
with
same
checks.
position. We're paying
That's
everybody
traceable.
else.
Let's turn to the issue of democracy. Former President Trump, I want to ask you about January 6, 2021. After you rallied your supporters that day, some of them stormed the Capitol to stop
Some of them.
constitutionally mandated
Some of them.
counting of
I
electoral
think
votes.
that.
As
I was sitting
president,
here
you swore
on this
an oath
couch.
to
That wasn't
preserve,
some.
protect, and defend
That
our
was a
federal
small
Constitution.
village.
What do you say to voters who believe that you violated that oath through your actions and inaction on January 6th and worried that
Why you got
voted-
craters in your
Why
face?
too many believe that? And let me tell you about January 6th.
How was your toupee
On
flat?
January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On
Who
January
is
6th, we had
blending your
energy
toupee?
independence.
That's
On
what we
January
call a
6th, we
leave
had the
out,
lowest
okay? Because you
taxes
got your
ever.
actual
We had
hair
the
on the
lowest
side.
regulations
Who
ever.
is it? You know
On
what? You
January
visiting
6th,
all
we
these black
respected all
spots,
over
wanting to
the
talk to
world.
all these black
All
people
over the
while
world,
you've been
we
in Atlanta.
respected.
You should have
And then
went
he
to a
comes
beauty
in,
shop,
and we're now
okay?
laughed at. We're
You
like
should have
a
went
bunch of stupid
to a
people.
good black
What
salon,
happens
okay? They
in the
would have
United
got
States
you a cut
reputation
and
under this
color, and
man's
they could have
leadership
blended that
is
smooth
horrible,
in. If you're gonna have a
including
leave out,
weaponization, which I'm
the
sure at some
texture
point
got to
we'll be
match,
talking
so
about,
you probably
where he
didn't
was
need
after his
that much of a
political opponent
blowout
because he
because your
can't
hair
beat
ain't
him
that
fair and
straight,
square.
straight. And
You
I
have
can
80
still
seconds
see,
left.
you know,
My
some
question
thinning
was, what
at
do
the
you say
top.
to those voters
And
who
you
believe
know,
that
the
you
blonde is too
violated
blonde
your
at the top, and
constitutional
then you got a
oath
little
through
bit
your
of gray
actions
with
and
the blonde, and
inaction
then
on
you got
January 6,
the, as
2021,
white people would
and
say,
worried
some
that
dirty
you
blonde
No, I didn't
underneath.
say
See,
that
if you
to
would have went to a
anybody.
good
I
black,
said peacefully
so
and
actually not even a
patriotically.
salon, you should have
And
went
Nancy Pelosi, if you
to
just
a
watch
kitchen
the news
beautician.
from 2 days
She'd have
ago,
got you together,
don't say
and you would
to
have
her
had a
daughter,
plate
who's
and a nice
documentary
cool drink.
filmmaker, what they say.
You'd have
But you
had
say,
to separate the hair
it's my
for her
responsibility. I was
and
responsible for this.
take a couple
'Cause I
breaks,
offered
probably watch one of her
10,000
kids for like
soldiers
20
on
minutes,
National Guard,
but you would have
but
looked
she
better
turned
than
them
that.
down,
That
and
you
they're
is
there
not camera ready.
in writing, by the
And
way.
Joe,
In writing, turned
no
it down, the
offense to
mayor
cancer
of
patients, but
DC.
Joe,
They turned
Joe,
it
are
down.
you
I
going through
offered to
chemo?
that because I could see I had virtually nothing to do. They
Because
asked me
you
to go
losing
make
an
a
awful
speech.
lot of hair.
I could see what was happening. Everybody was saying.
And
they're
why
gonna
are
beat
your
it.
eyes on
January
two different
6th, they're
levels?
gonna beat
I
it.
thought you,
And
I
I
could have
said,
swore at
That's a lot
inauguration,
of people coming.
your
You could
eyes
feel
were
it.
at the
You
same
could feel it
elevator
too,
level.
and you could feel it.
Now they
And I
on
said,
two different
they gotta
floors.
have
What's going
some
on, Joe?
National Guard or
Because you
whatever.
look like you tried to have a
And I
nip
offered
tuck
it
and
to
they
her,
nipped
and
too
she
much
now
and didn't tuck
admits that
enough.
she turned it down. And it was the same day she was, I don't know, she can't be very happy with her daughter because it made
You
her
don't
into
need
a
the
rebel.
hair on the
She said,
top.
"I
You
take
just
full
he got the
responsibility
leave out
for
on the
January
side. He just
6th."
needed blended properly.
President Biden?
Okay, he got a closure on the
He
top.
encouraged those folks
It's
to
just not
keep
blended
number
properly.
one. I sat in the dining room off the Oval Office. He sat there for 3 hours watching, being begged by his vice president and a number
Yeah,
of
you
his
kept hitting
colleagues
that
in the
Diet
Republican
Coke
Senate
button.
to do something, to call
And
for
word
stop,
on the street
to
is
end
that
it.
Don Jr.
Instead,
was
he
hitting the
talked
other
to
Coke button. I don't know if it was
patriots
regular Coke,
and
Coke,
great
Zero,
patriots of America.
vanilla
In fact,
Coke, cherry
he
Coke.
says
I
he'll
don't know
not
what kind of
forgive
Coke coke light,
done.
but word on the
They
street
can
is that
convict
he
them.
was hitting
He
the
says he
other
wants
coke
to
button,
commute their sentences.
and it wasn't the
And
Koch
say
brothers.
that, no,
Or maybe it
he
was.
went
Shit,
to
I don't
every
know.
single
Y'all like to
court in the nation.
swap
I don't know how many
employees.
cases.
That's
Scores
the
cases
scuttlebutt.
before the Supreme Court, and they said, no, this guy is responsible for doing what was done. to do
Joe,
a damn thing.
I'm gonna need you to
These
start
people should be in
talking
jail.
like you
And they
talking to
should
one of your
be
grandkids
in
that
front
done
of
broke
people.
some
If he
shit
wants
at
to
your
get mad,
house. I
and the
need
last thing
you
to do is
to
dance
find the
to
bass in
random
your
ideas
voice
that
and
you
let
call
that
bloodbath.
shit tremble,
Thank you,
okay?
President Biden.
You
President
need to
Trump.
look at him like you looked
Well,
at
they
Hunter
argue
when
some
Hunter
people
was
that
doing
show
all the
themselves.
hunching
You ought to
and
be
the
ashamed of
howling
yourself. What
and
you're
get
doing,
it
and you've
together. Be
destroyed
like,
the
I
lives
know
of so
you're
many people.
lying, you
When
convict.
they
That's what I
look down
need from
Portland,
you
when
right
they
about
look
now,
down
Joe.
many other cities.
Joe, I
you
need
go
your
to
inner
Minnesota,
big mama to come out because I know you grew up in them black
with the
churches.
fires all over the
I
city.
know you've
If I
been in
had
that
put the
black
National Guard, that city would
church
have been
kitchen on a
destroyed.
good Sunday
When you look
night.
at all of the
And I know when
they
you
took
reach
over
for that
Fort Churchill,
extra
Seattle. I
piece
was
of
all set to
fried
bring in the
chicken,
National Guard. They
you
heard
got
that. They
hit.
saw them coming and
And
they
Big
left
Mama's
immediately.
arms flat and
When
told
he
you,
said
boy, you better
that
get away from
this
my
whole
table. I need you to
subject is
channel that
so
right out now,
he's so
Joseph
patriotic.
Robert.
One other thing,
Okay?
the Intellect
Okay.
Committee, which is
That's what I
basically
need.
two horrible Republicans that are all gone now out of office.
Well, I think
and
which one was it?
Democrats, all
Diamond or
Democrats,
Silk? One of them
they
passed away. She
destroyed
went to the
and deleted all
lower
of the
room.
information they found because they found out we were
Allegedly,
right.
allegedly.
We were right. And they deleted and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did
You
that,
should
they
go to
should
jail
President Trump,
right
President
now,
Biden, I'll give you a
expeditiously.
minute.
Wait a minute, ain't your sentencing coming up? Yeah, it is. It's coming up 7-Eleven. Don't Beyonce got a song called 7-Eleven? I need to look that up because on 7-Eleven, when that sentences come down, I'm gonna need that in the background. Actually, I need a 7-Eleven outfit. Any suggestions? Suggestions, yeah.
Stop what was going on up at Capitol Hill. And all those people, every one of those who are convicted deserves to be convicted.
They
The idea
ain't
that they
doing
didn't
shit
kill
on
somebody
Capitol
just because they broke
Hill.
down doors,
Well, they
broke
already
the
doing the
windows,
Capitol Hill roundup. I've been covering that over on the ticker top.
turned over
They
desks,
rounding up everybody.
turned
Okay,
over
Matt Gates is
statues.
gonna be the
The
next one to
idea
go because they
that
keep
those
calling in
people
witness
are
after witness after witness. Every time we
Come
think
on.
that we about to get a physical
When I asked
report,
him
they're
the
like, whoa,
first
whoa, there's a
question,
new
he
witness
had
that done
the
came
information
out.
he
Whoa,
got
whoa, we
the
got
first
new
time.
financial records
I said,
saying that
"No,
he's still
and
paying for
that's
Pooh
part
9.
of it." He said, no, I'll tell them to stand down.
Round.
The idea he's refusing to, we denounce these guys. We denounce the people.
Not
that broke
you
out
sitting
there.
there grinding
We
your
denounce the people that
dentures,
attacked that.
Biden.
What we
JoJo.
do.
Now I know it's
I'm
POTUS. You
gonna,
got that
give you
universal
a
health care, but we
minute,
ain't gonna
President
keep
Trump,
buying
for
you
a follow-up
dentures. You better quit
question I
grinding. Why you
have.
grinding them?
After a jury convicted you of
Right.
34 felonies last month, you said if reelected, you would, quote, have every right to go after, unquote, your
Yes,
political
Trump is the new
opponents. He was
convict.
talking about members of the select committee on January 6th going
That's
to
in
jail.
response to
And your
Orange is
main
the New
political
Black.
opponent is standing on stage with you tonight. Can you clarify
Biden is like,
exactly
why
what
y'all
means
asking me
about
these
you feeling you
bullshit
have every
questions?
right
Can
to
we
go
get to the
after your
nitty gritty?
political opponent?
I need
Well,
you to say that, JoJo, you know you the current POTUS, right? You know you the current POTUS. Put the smack down on him. You know what? Slang that presidential wang around. Hit him in the head with it. I need you to say with your full chest, motherfucker. Let him know you the man. Okay? Damn, Obama. Very rock. Did you not call your boy or show up and give him a pep talk?
Joe could be a convicted felon with all of the things that he's done. He's
Like
done
Biden
horrible
should have
things.
walked out
All
like,
of the death cause of the
my name is Joe,
telling the
J to the
Ukrainian
OE.
people
Like,
that
we
you're
need
gonna
that.
have $1 billion or you change the prosecutor. Otherwise, you're not getting $1 billion. If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo.
You do
You're
quid
not
pro
gonna
quo.
do
Do you
anything.
know what
You're
quid
not
pro
gonna
quo?
give the
You know
$1
what?
billion
You
unless
don't
you
know
change the
what I
prosecutor
am,
having to do with his
ITV
son.
girl boy
This
means.
man
So
is a
I don't think you know.
This man,
You
we
just
have
heard
to-
somebody
we
say
have
and you
to-
think that
I
it
did
sounds
nothing
fancy. So
wrong.
you just gonna
We
keep
have a
saying it.
system that was
Motherfucker.
weak and disgusting. I did nothing wrong.
You
Thank you,
did nothing,
President
you
Trump.
did
President Biden,
everything
next,
wrong.
one more
Everything.
thing, sir.
From your leave
Yeah,
out
you
to
wanna
your
respond to that?
outfit
I'll
that's
give you the
very ill fitting. There's some there's some neighborhood scientists and salesmen that have better tailored suits than you do. Okay, I know some motherfuckers that scraped together, like took some pennies together and scraped them together and almost spontaneously combusted their houses, and they came to a funeral tonight looking crispier than you. Okay.
How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public? For doing a whole
Joe,
range of
that
things?
ain't the button we want you to
Having a
push.
step to a
We don't
police
want you to
staff,
push the
or
ball
they
pen button. We want you to
won't
push
just
his
pay
buttons.
you.
Okay, you know how to
What
do
are
it.
you talking about? You really have the morals of an alley cat.
Ooh, the morals of an alley cat. You could have went better.
Number one.
Call him a son of a
That was
bitch.
a case that was started.
Tell him his mama's a
and
whore.
moved a
Remind him that he's an anchor baby. Remind him that even by Nazi standards, they would have put him in the chambers.
terrible judge, a horrible judge.
You know,
Democrat.
eugenics and
The
all, and
prosecutor,
he wouldn't
they're
have hit the
all
cusp.
high-ranking Democrats, appointed people,
I don't want to calm
and
down. I'm
both
hyper.
the
Leave me
civil
alone.
and the criminal. He basically went after his political opponent because he thought it was going to damage me. But when the public found out about these cases, because they understand it better than he does, he has no idea what these cases are.
You have
But
no
when
idea what these
they
cases
found out
are.
about these cases,
The public is not
My
upset.
poll numbers went up way up. You know that?
No, they
because
didn't. People didn't even come out to
and we
support
took in
you.
more money in the last 2 weeks.
The
than
most
we've
press
ever
you
taken
got
in the
was when you
history
got
of
convicted
any
and when
campaign,
dude
of
set
any
himself on
campaign
fire.
has ever taken.
And he didn't give a
Hundreds
fuck
of
about you.
millions of dollars
He
they
set
brought
himself
in
on fire for some
because
other
the
shit.
public knows it's a scam, and it's a guy
No,
that's after
we
his
know
political
you're a
opponent
scam.
'cause he can't
That's what
win
we know.
fair and square.
Thank you, President
You
Trump.
can't
President
win
Biden,
fair
you
and
have
square.
said, quote, Donald Trump and his
Did you
MAGA
forget what was
Republicans
exposed
are
in your
determined to
trial?
destroy American democracy.
You got pissed about a
Do you
TV
believe
poll
that the
and was
tens of
willing to
millions of
pay
Americans
thousands
who
of
are likely
dollars
vote
to
for
skew the
President
results of
Trump
a
will be
TV
voting
poll.
against
You
American
goofy
democracy?
bastard.
The more they know about what he's done, yes. The more they know about what he's
What the
done.
hell are you in there
There's a
touching?
lot more coming. He's got a lot of cases down the road coming around. He's got a whole range of issues he has to face. I don't know what the jury's
You
gonna
need
do.
to be in here
Yeah, I
watching
know
this
you
so
do
you can
that.
understand your
That's no problem.
competition. How
And
you
so
supposed to
the fact
become
that-
president
Did you ever think you heard any president say?
if you don't even know who you up against?
Retribution?
You don't
Ever
even
heard
give a
the
damn.
president say that
You just
they
don't
thought
like
they had
Trump.
some good ideas? What got me involved to run the first
We
place
need a
was
president that ain't a
I
war
decided
criminal. Wait a
in
minute.
Iraq because
You
of
got
Iraq.
beef with
I said
everybody.
I wasn't gonna
I
run
think
again
we need to have a
until I
conversation about
saw what happened in
precisely
Charlottesville,
who you have
Virginia.
beef with
People
around the
coming out
globe.
of the woods carrying swastikas.
Like, I think they'll
are
be cool with you having beef with BB
and-
from Philly and
saying
Putin
anti-Semitic bile
and Kim
saying
Jong-un.
when we were back in
But
Germany.
who else you got beef
and
with?
and a young woman got killed. I spoke to the mother, and they asked him. They said, "What do you think of those people? The people who the ones got killed, the one who tried to stop him, and the one he said."
How
"I
the
think
fuck
was
you got
killing
in and
people
out
in America."
laryngitis?
What American president would ever say?
How your voice
Nazis
on
coming
DJ
out of
mute?
fields carrying torches, singing.
Like,
singing
ear,
anti-Semitic flag,
sometimes you
carrying
got sound,
swastikas.
sometimes you don't.
We're fine people. This is a guy who
Who's
says Hitler
fine
done some
people?
good things. I want to know what they are.
Jesus,
Hitler
please
done what they
take your
said.
thumbs
This guy
off
had
Joseph
no sense
Robinette's
for American
forehead. It is disturbing.
Trump.
Jake, both of you know that story has been totally wiped
No,
out.
no, they
Because
don't.
when you see the
We just know that your
specific
homeboy bought out
100%
CNN and you think that they are
exoneration on
obligated
that,
to
so he
agree
just
with
keeps
you.
it going. He
But
says
you
he
ain't
ran
called your
because of
homeboy in like
Charlottesville. He didn't run because of Charlottesville.
82
He ran
months.
because it was
That
his
shit
last
don't say it.
chance.
Even
He's
Fox is
unfit to
talking
be
shit about
president.
you a
We
little
know
bit,
it, and I know it's
allegedly,
ridiculous.
from
We
what
have
I've
to pay.
seen
We're trying to
online.
justify his presidency. His presidency, he's without question the worst president, the worst presidency
No,
in the history of our country.
that
We
is
shouldn't be having a
you,
debate
homie.
about it. There's
That is
nothing to
you.
debate.
It's been
He made up the
135 years since we've had two
and
people
you'll see
on
it's
the
debunked
debate
all over
stage
the place.
that have held the
Every
same
anchor who's
office and are
every
now
reasonable
fighting for the
anchor
same
has
office.
debunked
And
it.
you
And just
suck
the other
at
day
it. Like
came out
you,
where it was fully
you
debunked.
stink on
It's
ice,
a
motherfucker. Like,
nonsense story. He knows that. And he didn't run because of
Jesus.
Charlottesville. He used that as an
Oh,
excuse to.
you like a snapping turtle trying to suck dick from the back. It ain't working.
Listen to what was said at the time, and the idea that somehow that's the only reason I ran. I ran because I was worried a guy like this guy could get elected.
Oh, you
He
know,
thought
if Puppers could
there
have
were
Joy
good
Reid
people
as a
coming
running
out of
mate,
that
it'd
forest,
be on and popping.
carrying those torches, then he didn't deserve to be president. Didn't deserve to be president at all. And the idea that he's talking about all this being fabricated, we saw.
Joe,
it
why
on
your
news.
mouth
We saw
got a
it happen on
gangster lean?
January 6th. We saw the people breaking through windows. We saw people occupying his own vice president.
How-
Look, there's a reason why 40 of his 44 top cabinet officers refused to endorse him this time. His vice president has endorsed
What's that
him this time.
lozenge
So why?
that they had people on
Why
the
are they
hills
not
yelling
allowed
about?
to
He
serve?
need
Why
one.
are they not endorsing him?
Thank you, President Biden. We're going to be right back with more from the CNN presidential debate.
All right, y'all know how this go. Y'all know how this go. Hey, ooh, the light is working for me. You know, better late than never. Yes, your girl was able to make it, but since I was able to make it, for those that watch me normally here on the podcast, because some of y'all only show up for this and then don't show up for nothing else. I ain't bitter, maybe a little bit, but you know, do what you want to do. It did finally hit me, and some emotions did run. Because at my church, this funeral came close to how packed it was for my mom's funeral. And I did realize the impact that she had on the community. But my family is so damn extra. Why we need a full magazine? And all I got to say is, now that I've seen this, when I pass away, if y'all don't give me a full spread magazine with all the modeling years that I have and all the pictures you can put in this, then you don't love me. Now, I do know she's being cremated because it was a very obviously to me, rented casket, because I could see the little nicks on it. Because I was like, I know they didn't do my girl like this, because I was getting all emotional. And I was like, oh, we did have some good times. We did have some shows. And she did help me become, the boisterous, I can talk to myself woman that I am now, including my Ajimahela. We can talk about my Ajimahela later. But yes, when it was all said and done, did I run up and through? Yes. Now, my one cousin that I'm like this with, I did remind him that I do need to cover this. And he was like, you know what? That's right. You need to get up and through. But when you have a family that's like 50% creatives and 50% clergy, when that comes together, baby, woo, did we take her to the king? Yes, absolutely. We had remarks, then a song, and this, then a song, and then that, and then a song. And who was the choir? Of course, the family. Who took the mic? Random people within the family, because Sister Girl could sing. I mean, sing. I got to give that to her. And everybody was trying to do her songs, but we knew we couldn't do it justice. And for those of y'all that, in full honesty, want to know about, my foray into child advocacy and feeding people, etc., it is because of her. Now, did we always mesh? Hell no. Did we bump heads? Hell yeah. And listening to people today, I realized that the reason why we bumped heads and we had so much back and forth is because we are pretty much identical. So I have some soul searching to do. I'm not rescinding any of the jokes that I said before, because they still hold true. And we said jokes like that about each other while she was still walking the earth. So there's that. So. But now that we got that out the way, and y'all know that I am not emotionally repressed today. Tomorrow, different day. We got old man versus old man. Let the best hospice patient win. I would say that I'm joking, but I'm not. No, it's not over. We had a commercial break. There's just going to be 2 commercial breaks from what I read. And they're going to do like a whole bunch of commercials in a row. And then we're going to get back to it because they promised both of them a certain amount of time, because there is no audience. And then they do have the ability to mute either one of their mics. They should have put me in charge of that, because I would have just randomly been muting mics. But we're back. Let's get ready to marshmallow pillow fight. I don't know.
President to a record low under your presidency. Black families still earn far less than white families. Black mothers are still 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes. And Black Americans are imprisoned at 5 times.
Oh, he's reading the index card.
What do you say to
you saw them lips moving?
That you haven't made more progress.
They acknowledge they made a lot of progress. Number one, the fact of the matter is,
did we forget Congress exists?
That was started in any time in history. Number 2, the wages of black unemployment is the lowest level it's been in a long, long time. Number 3.
Joe, you only needed 1 point. All you had to say was, just like my homeboy Obama, Congress fucking with me, because they hold the key to the purse strings. Just say that shit. Just let the people know how the shit go. Y'all keep trying to pretend like y'all really in control of everything as POTUS, and you're not. Just let them know Congress said no and put me in the corner.
Relative to child care is incredibly difficult. When we did the first major piece of legislation in the past, I was able to reduce Black child care costs. I cut them in half.
That wasn't by color. That wasn't by race. That wasn't by ethnicity. Joseph, stop lying to the people. Tell them exactly what was in that proposition. That was just low income, and every Black person ate low income.
We've done a great deal.
Because I was very much so a suburban chick, and the only social service that I qualified for was daycare vouchers, because of the exorbitant rate in the 90s that daycare was.
inflation is still hurting them badly. For example, I provided for the idea that any black family first-time home buyer should get a $10,000
Jesus, Mary, and
tax
Joseph.
credit
Who
if they
is
ever
on
buy
their
first
team?
home. So they
Who
can
is
get
on
started.
Joseph's
I
team?
made sure
Well,
that the
y'all,
situation where all those
instead
black
of trying to
families
make
and
these
black
cutesy
individuals
talking points
provided
to
that
make it
equity
seem that
goes
he is in
wrong,
control of shit
that
that he's
was
not.
eroded.
This is why
And
people
that
keep
gave
losing
nation
votes and people are
back
swayed.
and-
Tell the
and
fucking truth
them
about how
to-
inflation
to
works,
pay their bills for
and
10
that will
years.
actually get
It's-
you
it's
votes
so
and
that
support.
all of us
But
should
when
be
you
like
give
children.
talking
And then
points
they
pretending
take
that
it
you have a
and then
hand
they do a
in,
whole lot
you know
more
what?
for
You
black
know
families.
what? We're
Thank
gonna
you,
end
President
up
Trump.
with President
And he calls it
RFK
inflation.
Jr.
He's
That's that
calling
we gonna
inflation,
end up with
and he's
President
right, it's been very bad.
Brainworm. That's what
He
the
calls it
fuck we gonna
inflation,
get.
and it's
And
killing
given that
black
Hulk Hogan
families
is
and
willing to throw
Hispanic
his hat
families
in the
and just
fucking
about
ring, we
everybody.
might get him.
It's killing
We
people.
might
They
get,
can't
oh
groceries
brother,
anymore.
Hulk
They
maniacs. Let me
you
fuck
look
my
at the
daughter
grocery
in the
field
oval.
where it's doubled,
That's what we might get.
tripled, and quadrupled. They
One
can't
dumb
live.
blonde to
They're
another
not
dumb
living
blonde. You know
anymore.
what?
He causes inflation. I gave him a country with essentially no inflation. It was perfect. It was so good. All he had to do is leave it alone.
It's
He could
not too late
split
at
it
this
with
point.
his
This was the
greenway
perfect
scam and all of
opportunity.
the other, all this money
If-
that's being thrown out the window.
If people
He
would
caused
stop
inflation. As sure
trying
as
to
you're
just
sitting there,
counter
the
Trump
fact is
and
that
work more
his
on
big
educating the voter,
black
the
people
Democratic
is the
Party could
millions of
sweep
people that he's
every
allowed to come in
election.
through the border.
This
They're
was the
taking back
perfect
jobs now.
opportunity
And it could be 18
to
it could
tell
be
the
19
truth and
even 20
educate the
million
people.
They're taking
But
black
they miss it
jobs,
every
and they're
time,
taking
every time.
Hispanic jobs, and you haven't
Because
seen it yet.
everybody,
But you're
and
gonna
they're
see
even,
something
they
that's
even
gonna be
marketed
the
this
worst
as the
in our
Super
history.
Bowl of
President
debate.
Biden.
There was no inflation when I became president. You know why? The economy was flat on its back, 50% unemployment. He decimated the economy, absolutely decimated the economy.
And
That's
he
why there was
did.
no inflation at the time. There were no jobs. It provided thousands.
Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. You want to tell the truth now? You should have told the truth before, because you could have doubled down with this. It really drove it home. You could have got some of his Trumplicans to come over to your side, because they would have been able to put two and two together at this point, because you wouldn't have done it Common Core. But see, the way you explained it, it is Common Core, and we know that they can't even state the. You know what? Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
In a position where the idea that we're not doing it, we put more police.
Because y'all don't really care about us.
He wants to cut the cops. We're providing for equity and making sure people have a shot to make it. There's a lot going on.
If you really wanted equity and wanted to make sure we had a shot to make it, you would tear down every system that you had and you would rebuild them equitably. And you would finally pay reparations to the motherfuckers whose blood, sweat, and tears through their ancestry built this country. But you know, what do I know?
Communities across the country are confronting the devastating effects of extreme heat, intensifying wildfires, stronger hurricanes, and rising sea levels.
Yeah, because Trump doesn't believe in global warming.
Climate initiatives, but will you take any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
No.
Just go back to what he said.
No, you don't need to go back. Cut his mic. Cut his mic. Cut his. You know what?
Almost every police.
When are they going to hire me for these debates? Me and Leslie Jones. That would be a good combination. Let her. We can tag team moderate, but let me be in charge of the mute button. You don't need to. You were asked a fucking question. Answer the fucking question.
In the 1990s, we can't forget that. Super Predators was his name, and he called it to him, and they've taken great offense at it, and now they see it happening. But when they see,
but you grabbed onto the welfare queen narrative that Reagan put together, and you decided to hold. You decided to tell Reagan, "Hold my beer from the grave." Let me run with your narrative and just drive it into the grave with you. The fuck?
Great senator from South Carolina. He came to me with
and as anti-Semitic as you are, it is chef's kiss that your daughter who converted to Judaism has left you high and dry. But
we have the best numbers with that in maybe
who?
Ever. They're saying ever. I read this morning.
Who?
Ever, the best numbers.
Where you read that at? Where you read that at? Because I've been following the news since I woke up, and actually it took me a while to fall asleep last night. So I started last night. Where you read that around?
You see these millions of people pouring into our country, and
but you talked about Hispanics doing well, but then you talked about people pouring into the country who are.
38 seconds left. President Trump, will you take any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
So I want absolutely immaculate clean water, and I want absolutely clean air, and we had it We had H2O.
When did we have
the
it?
best numbers ever.
What?
And we
Because I
did
still got my
we
zero
were
water
using
filter.
all
with-
forms of energy, all forms, everything.
And my
And yet,
allergies was
during
is
my
still
4
fucking me.
years, I had the
We're
best environmental numbers ever. And my top environmental people gave me that statistic.
wait a minute,
just before I
Courtney,
walked
you
on the stage,
you still
actually.
in here, girl? Wasn't I hospitalized
really
because of
have
the
this
environment under
The
Trump?
idea
Because
that he said is
woo,
true.
okay.
I passed the most extensive climate change legislation in history.
Okay, here we go.
That's
Pissing
why I'm
contest.
excited, by the way.
Sword fight.
Not
Pissing
colleges.
contest.
I
Sword
came up
fight.
with 50
Pissing
grants for
contest.
HBCUs, historic Black universities and colleges, because they don't have.
Why did you bring
they don't have the kind
HBCUs up in here? We talk about climate.
They have to build these laboratories and the like. Any Black students capable in college of doing any white student can do. They just have the money, but now they'll be able to get those jobs in high tech.
Fuck does that have to do?
The idea that he's
Joe?
claiming that
Jojo?
he had something
Joe?
that had clean
Jojo?
water,
Joe,
clean water,
we're not your tokens. Just because your homeboy is Barry Rock,
the Paris Peace
don't mean you get to bring us up when you did not properly get a get.
There's no way back. The only existential threat to humanity is climate change, and he didn't do a damn thing about it. He wants to undo all that I've done.
You do realize that the racist white people just gonna hear that you said HBCUs when you were asked about a question regarding climate change, and they gonna put all of that shit on the backs of us and act like we the problem. First of all, Black people are great at recycling. Okay, ask us what we do with our brown paper bags and our plastic bags, and ask how many of us have reusable bags already, like before it was even a thing.
I took care of the seniors. What he's doing is
Baby, you are the seniors. I took care of the seniors. Y'all are the seniors.
I have the biggest heart on the stage. I guarantee you that.
And now that I'm older, all of us should be offended that they call your final year in high school and college your senior year, baby. We ain't dilapidated by the time we get anywho.
The idea is
you're not in trouble, Courtney. I just needed confirmation because this idiot right here was talking about he had the cleanest air, the cleanest water, and I was like, wait a minute. I think me and I think you had some health problems because of the environment, because we definitely had to postpone some things this year because of the environment.
And we continue to make progress. We set up a climate corps where thousands of young people will learn how to deal with them, just like the Peace Corps. And
the young people. Y'all need to educate everybody, because the young people can do whatever they want, but if the old people still doing what they doing, they just gonna make a larger hill for the young people to have to get over. And the older people have more influence over the younger people because they in the house and they around the younger people more than you are. Joe, wake up. Stand up. You're weak in the knees. Shit.
Voluntarily. I made sure every company in the world, every pharmaceutical company cannot have.
What you shaking your head for, Trump? Where your lips at? You're looking like Dory about the lips. What's going on?
Social Security provides a critical
Lord
lifeline.
mercy.
President Biden, if nothing is done to Social Security, seniors will see their benefits cut in just over 10 years.
Oh,
Will you name
I don't like that. First of all, why is your handkerchief in your pocket that way? And it's not really coordinated with that tie. That's too much going on. You look like somebody threw up in your pocket.
Pay 6% of their income, of their paycheck, every single time they get a paycheck. From the time the first one they get from 18 years.
Is it just me?
The idea that
Is it just me? Or should JoJo have shown up with an ascot on? Because does he not look like an AI generated version of an elder Fred from Scooby-Doo?
Cost of Social Security for anybody under
Is that just me?
$40,000
Probably just me. The way my brain is set up. Probably just me. Probably just me.
To be able to guarantee the program for life.
So you still have 82 seconds left. Are there any other measures that you think that would be able to help keep Social Security solvent?
Why you got the duck lips going on?
Well, that one enough will keep it solvent. But the biggest thing we'll do is we defeat this man, because he wants to get rid of Social Security. He thinks,
and he does.
Social Security. He's wanting to cut Social Security and Medicare both times. And and if you look at the program put forward by the House Republican Caucus that he supports, is in fact want to cut it.
Hold on. Gotta get the
The
charging
idea
bank out.
We don't need to protect our seniors. It's ridiculous.
Did he forget that he's a senior? We know wealthy people love to cash in on their entitlements, although they want to keep you from cashing in on them that you paid into. This is why I describe entitlements as savings plans, because that's what they are. You pay into them from the time that you get your first job until you need to pull out.
And by the way,
You know, that sounds like you done had a baby with Uncle Sam. That's pretty much how it feels. Shit.
Pell Grants, another $8,000. So anybody making under $70,000 a year can be able to get $15,000 towards the tuition. He just doesn't know what he's talking about.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
So I've dealt with politicians.
Quit calling him President Trump.
I've been on this side of the equation for the last 8 years. I've never seen anybody lie like
You've been
this
on
guy.
that
He
side of
lies.
the
I've never
equation
seen
for
it. He can
8
look you in the
years.
face.
You was the president for 40 fucking 8 years, you douche canoodle.
Mention Russia, Ukraine. And everything he does is a
Well,
lie.
because we have
It's
proof that you did some
disinformation.
rank shit with Russia,
The news is
and you're the one that keeps saying that you have a direct line to Russia.
It's a disgrace. But Social
And you didn't go to Ukraine. I can't say JoJo did, which was a dumb move, because he could have got blowed up.
They're putting him onto Medicare, Medicaid. They're putting him in our hospitals. They're taking the place of.
They've been on Medicare and Medicaid, Booski.
To our veterans is unbelievable. Our veterans are living in the street, and these people are.
Then you need to overhaul the VA, give them more locations, give them a bigger budget so they can hire better people to get up in there to take care of our veterans.
I told you before. By the way, when I said
And JoJo, you should have done that. That should have been at the front of your shit. Given how your son died, you know, your son that was willing to get into politics right along with you, and maybe, just maybe, point out that you almost lost your sons as well from that car accident where you lost your daughter and your wife. So maybe people could understand their trauma and why they took two different paths to get to where they got to. Because I have two children that suffered similar trauma and took two different paths to get to there. So, you know.
That if Trump is reelected, we're likely to have a recession, and inflation is going to increasingly go up. And by the way, the worst president in history, 159 presidential scholars voted. Him the worst.
You know how these things go. You hear for all of these debates that I do.
Thank you so much. Let's turn to the cost of child.
I got to wait till we get to a certain point in and start saying certain stuff, because they love to start muting.
Have tried to address this issue, but the average cost of child care in this country has risen to more than $11,000 a year per child. For many families, the cost of child care.
And here's the thing: this started happening in the 90s. My mother worked with women who quit their jobs when they got pregnant and had kids because it was more lucrative and more cost effective for them to babysit other people's kids than to put their kids in daycare.
The other thing is, he doesn't fire people.
And even when my kids were getting older, I could never put my kids never went to daycare. And I looked into it. I couldn't put all of my kids into the same facility. I have two sets of Irish twins. And the younger they are, the more expensive it is. And the older they are, the less effort they put into them. But they still want to charge you an arm and a leg. Now, are there some good places out there? And are there some good people? And trust and believe, if we would have had social media back then, there's a lovely woman named Nanny Q over on TikTok. Please follow her, especially if you want tips, and even if you can't afford a nanny or private whatever. But I would have moved in order to hire that black woman. It's gonna be you from prison, Booski.
Fire anybody that allowed our country to be destroyed.
You allowed our country to be destroyed. First of all, how is your leave out coming unraveled? Did y'all see that when he turned to the side? Did you see them flyaways? I fly away.
Now all of a sudden he's trying to get a little tough on the border. He came out with a nothing deal, and it reduced a little bit, like this much. It's insignificant. He wants open borders. He wants our country to.
And Trump, why does it look like your dentures came from Party City?
And
Why
I
does it
don't
look like your
think
dentures
we
came
just
from a
can't let it
pop-up
happen.
shop for
If
Halloween?
he
What's going on?
wins this election, our country doesn't have a chance. Not even
No,
a
our
chance
country didn't have a
of
chance
coming
under
out of this
you.
rut.
Now we
probably
need
won't have a
JoJo
country
to go
left
check
anymore.
his
That's how bad
homeboy
it is.
BB from
He's the
Philly
worst
so
in
we can get this
history
shit
by far.
together and we can move
Thank you,
on. Once he
President
gets that
Trump.
shit together and he's honest with the UN, tells our UN ambassador to be real, and he tells the ICC, hey, I got inside information on BB from Philly, then we'll be good. Then we can move on to the Congo and we can actually do some good. Because if you're really worried about black people, you should be worried about the entirety of the black diaspora. But what you doing? You sounding real Tyler, JoJo. Is you colored, JoJo? If you know, you know. I'm not going to explain it to you. Y'all got Google.
They've had meetings and they voted. Who was the worst president in American history? One to best to worst. They said he was the worst in all of American history.
Arena,
That's a fact.
give the ferret
That's not
a
that's not
snack.
projection.
That's
They
what
might be wrong,
that
but that's what they
translates
voted.
out to,
The
Arena.
idea that he
The
is
ferret
wrong
wants a
in
snack.
everything to
Get
do
get a ferret a
with
snack. I
childcare.
don't even know what
He did
ferrets snack
virtually
on.
nothing in
Do
childcare.
they
They should
snack on
significantly
orange
increase the
douche
childcare
canoodles,
tax credit. They
tangerine
should significantly
tyrants?
increase the availability of women and men or single
Oh, I
parents to
think
be able to
Trump
go
is
back to
pooping
work.
in his
And
diaper.
we should encourage businesses
And
to
before
hire
y'all come up and go,
full-time
Taz, you're being ableist. No, I'm not. When he,
What would you do to make childcare more affordable if you want to take in on that?
if you
Just
know,
so
you
you
know
say-
about the one producer
We have
from
problems, we have
Apprentice,
other
especially
things
Celebrity
that people
Apprentice.
get rid of
When
the
Trump
most,
goes,
because what he's done is so bad.
that
And they
seems to
rape
be a
me
telltale
nationally
sign that
also.
it's the poop
And they
poop
rate me one of
going
the
on.
best, okay?
It's the poop
And
doop.
if I
And
give him
everybody
another
that's been
4
around a
years, I will be
toddler
the best.
that's
I
in
think
they
I'll be the
pull-ups
best.
while you trying to
Nobody's
potty
ever
train them, you know
made
that.
the economy like us.
Look.
Nobody ever cut taxes like us. He's the only one I know. He wants to raise your taxes.
Because
by
I
4 times. He
Heisman
wants to
a
raise
few of my young
everybody's
cousins
taxes by 4 times. He
tonight
wants
that was
adult
walking
tax
up to
cuts
me like,
expire.
oh, you gonna take her to the
Everybody,
bathroom?
including
No,
the
I'm
poor,
not.
you're gonna pay 4 or 5 times.
No, I'm
Nobody
not.
ever heard of
I
this
do not
before.
have a
All
newborn
my
or a
life, I
toddler
grow
for a
up and I see
reason.
politicians talking about cutting taxes. When we cut taxes, as I said,
If you know,
we
you
did
know.
more business. Apple and all these companies, they were bringing money
No, his
back
favorite
into our
snack is
country.
pepperoni. Give us some
The worst
pepperoni.
president in history by far.
See, I knew I
Everybody
felt it.
knows
I felt it. I
Okay,
felt it. My
Look,
nephew
fact of
Ferret
the
wants
matter
some
is that he's
pepperoni.
dead
Give me some
wrong about it. He's
pepperonis.
increased them.
Pepperonis.
He will
Pepperonis.
increase the taxes on middle class people.
Who bippity
They said I
boppity
never
booped
raised the
Biden on the
taxes
top of the
on
head? Because I see that
less
little
than
bitty knot that's
$25.
trying to come
I
out.
didn't. This tariff is 10% tariffs. Everything coming into the country, you know what the economists say?
Jill,
That's going to cost the
Jill,
average American
are you abusive, Jill?
$2,500
Jill, are you
a
bippity
year
boppity
more
booping him on top of
because
the
they have to
head?
pay the difference in fuel and all the things that were reported. Number two, he's in a situation where he talks about how he is.
But you know
not
what?
really-
As somebody that
he-
has
he's-
a
he
stutter
says
when
about
they're
help
nervous
the middle class.
or under
Middle class
pressure,
has been
let me give it
devastated.
to
Now you want a new tax cut of $5 trillion over the next 10
current
years, which is
President
gonna
Joseph
fundamentally
Robinette
bankrupt
Biden,
the country.
that since
We have the
I
largest
joined the
deficit in
conversation, he
American
hasn't
history.
stuttered. And
Number one.
maybe
Number two, we have not,
him
in
holding the
fact,
pen helps
made
him
any
because
contact,
uh,
any progress
I
with
tend
China.
to like
We are the lowest trade deficit with China since
on my left,
2002.
on my right
Thank you,
hand,
President
sorry,
Biden.
uh,
Thank you, President Biden.
twirl
Let's
a ring
let's
to
discuss
keep
an epidemic
myself like
impacting millions of Americans
when I'm
that
stimming
both
or
of
I
you
feel
have
like
to
I'm
be a
going
top
to stutter.
priority in your first term.
So I'm going to
The
give him that.
opioid crisis. And for both of you, the number of overdose deaths in this country has gone up. Under your term, it went up. Under your term, it has gone up. Former President Trump, despite the efforts that both of you have made, more than 100,000 Americans are dying
Maybe
from
it's
overdoses
because
every
since
year,
Biden has been in
primarily from
office,
fentanyl and other opioids.
more
What do you do to
misinformation,
help Americans
disinformation has
right
come
now in the
out,
throes of addiction
and
who are
more
struggling to
people,
get the
because
treatment
we've
they need?
seen all the MAGA arrests
We now have the
and all
largest
the
deficit in
cop
the history of our country under
arrests
this guy. We have the
that have
largest
happened
deficit with
because
China.
of dealings
He gets
of
paid by
this
China.
stuff.
He's a Manchurian
It's
candidate.
coming
He
through.
gets money from China.
And
he's afraid to deal with
when
them
people
sometimes.
can't fit in to
But
get
you
in,
notice he never took out
they
my
do some
tariffs
stuff.
because we bring in so much money with the tariffs that I impose.
Yeah,
on
same
China.
arena.
He
Well,
never
arena.
took them
Well,
away. He can't because it's too much money.
same
It's
arena.
tremendous. And we saved our steel industries. And
I
it
won't
was
go
the
any
other
further
problem.
with that conversation
done
until
But he hasn't kept
unless
the
you're
tariffs
comfortable with it
he
because of
can't,
conversations
it's
that
too
we've
much
had.
money. And he's got
But
the
yeah,
largest deficit in the history of our country, and he's got the worst situation with China. China's going to own us if you keep allowing them.
China already owns us,
as a
bitch.
country. They are killing us. As a
And we know
country,
about the
Jill,
property
and
that you
can't
got over
let
there
that
and the
happen.
debts that
You're
you have over
destroying
there.
our
Actually,
country.
you got debts
So,
in
President Trump, you had
different
67
area
seconds left. The
codes.
question was,
You
what are
got
you gonna do to
debt
help Americans in the throes
in
of
different
addiction right now who are
area
struggling to
code,
get the treatment
area
they need?
codes.
Jake, we were doing very well at addiction until the COVID came along. We had the 2.5, almost 3 years of like nobody's ever had before.
Okay,
any
I know
country,
that arena.
everywhere.
I wasn't gonna say
And
that.
then we had to
I
get
wasn't.
tough,
You know
and
me.
it
I
was
wasn't gonna
the
say that.
drugs
I wasn't gonna
pouring
say
across
that.
the border.
But we've had
You know,
conversations about our
started
stuttering,
doing because we got
and we
great equipment. We bought the certain drugs
actually,
that's
even
supposed
with
to
your
train
stutter,
you.
you give
Thing
the
that you never
best
see the way they can
pep
spot it.
talks
We did a lot.
when
And
I'm worried
we were
about
getting very low
you know
numbers, very, very low
my
numbers.
stutter
Then he came
being
along.
a
The numbers, have
hindrance.
you seen the numbers now? It's not only
And
the
maybe
1,800
tomorrow
people
I'll
that I
talk to
believe
y'all
is even
how
low because the
things went
gotaways, they don't
tonight.
even talk about gotaways. But the numbers of the amount of drugs and human trafficking in women coming across our border, the worst thing I've ever seen. At numbers that nobody's ever seen.
Like the
under
women
because the
you,
border's so bad.
Epstein,
But the
Weinstein, and
number
Diddy
of
paid to
drugs
bring
coming
y'all
across our border is the largest we've ever
y'all
had by far.
preferred
President
drugs
Trump, thank
across
you.
the
President
border
Biden.
allegedly,
Fentanyl
allegedly,
and byproducts
allegedly,
fentanyl went down.
according to court
Wow.
documents in
And I
several
wanted to make
different
sure you
cases,
use a machine
allegedly.
that can detect fentanyl. These big machines that roll over everything that comes across the border. And it costs a lot
I'm
of
just
money.
saying, if you
That was part
know
of this deal we put together. This bipartisan deal.
where
More fentanyl
indictments
machines, more
and
able to
subpoenas
detect
have
drugs,
come out of what
more
counties
the
you
numbers of
allegedly could
agents,
go
more
and see,
numbers of
allegedly,
the border.
that
And if
he
you
telling
never
on
did that
himself,
deal, remember,
allegedly.
he called his Republican colleagues and said, "Don't do it. It's going to hurt me politically." No, he never argued it's not a good bill. It's a really good bill. We need those machines.
Jojo,
We need those machines.
Jojo,
And we're coming down very hard
Jojo,
in every country
Jojo,
in Asia in terms of
Jojo.
precursors for fentanyl. And Mexico is working with us
Dr.
next
Biden,
year.
you
They'll
know,
have the
Jilly Jill,
technology to be able to put it together. That's what we have
Jilly
to
who
do.
wants to
We
be from
need
Philly,
those machines.
Thank you, President Biden. President
she
Trump,
seemed
again,
like
the
she'll
question is about
take it from you.
Americans in the
Channel
throes of
her.
addiction right now struggling to get the treatment they need.
Well, this does pertain to it. He ended.
It doesn't pertain to shit.
He ended
You,
catch and
like I
release,
told
and
y'all
we
on the
catch and
ticker
release in
talk,
Mexico,
Trump
catch
has a
and release here.
checklist of what
We
he
had
needs
so
to
many
get out.
things that we
He
had
has
done.
already
Hard
pre-planned these
negotiations with Mexico,
conversations,
we
and
got
he's
them all
gonna
for nothing. It's just like when you have a hostage. We always
tell
pay
me I was
$6 billion
wrong.
for
To
a hostage.
anybody
Everybody
who
says a
saw my
hostage.
video over
Now
on
we
the
have a
ticker talk where
hostage.
I
It's
said
internal
Trump
report.
has to have
I
these
think a big
conversations
lie,
because he's
and
pre-planned
he's
them.
over there because
Tell
Putin
me
is
where I
laughing
was
at this
wrong
by
tonight.
publicly asking for
Tell
billions
me
of
where the fuck
dollars
I was wrong tonight.
for the reporter. I will have him out very quickly as soon as I take office. Before I take office, I said by literally.
Yeah,
as soon as I win the
you was
election,
me years
I
ago.
will have
We
that
had that
reporter out.
conversation. You
He
was
should have
meaner
had him
than
out
me.
a long time ago.
I,
But
for the
Putin's
longest time,
probably
was
asking for
afraid to be
billions and
mean to
billions of
people
dollars because this guy pays it every time. We had two cases where he paid $6 billion for 5
because
people.
of
I've
one
got
of my
58 people
disabilities,
out that I paid
which I
essentially
realized
nothing.
last
Thank you,
year,
President Trump.
even if I'm the
Let's hear the
nicest of
concerns
people,
that voters have
they
about each of you.
my worst fear
President
came
Biden, you
true.
will
I
be
was
in
knocked the
the
fuck
seats
over
at the end
with
of your
my
second term.
mobility device.
How
And
do you
now I'm
address
like, fuck your
concerns
shit.
about your capability to handle the toughest job in the world well into your
Why so
80s?
true?
Well, first of all,
Yes, I am following that trial.
I was the second youngest person.
It's hard for me to give commentary because of a lot of the stuff that's coming out, and I try to put tidbits out from other people covering it, just because we know how TikTok and other platforms monitor my accounts. Hold on. They ain't saying nothing. But when it comes to the YSL trial, I've tried to put stuff out. It keeps getting snatched. And I've tried to covertly like update, but we know there's a certain platform that hates what I do. It is extremely problematic. And I even reposted twice an attorney's take on all of this, and people want to argue with me. So I think it's one of those trials that after everything is said and done, I can do a synopsis on it and like do a panel to discuss it. But just like the Idaho murder trial, that guy, I I have to be very selective on what I update on because he's so fucked in the head and things are so gruesome. So. Oh, nothing is adding up. Nothing is adding up. Absolutely nothing is adding up.
Letters to Putin, etc. They don't want to screw around with this.
Thank you. Former President Trump, to follow up, you would be 82 at the end.
I'm working on something for Karen Reed. I'm working on something for Karen Reed.
Well, I took 2 tests.
Because I
tests.
think I figured out,
as you know, we made it public.
how to
He
get
took mine.
around the
I took
algorithm
just one.
and give my
Like,
same
those
true
were the
blue,
first 5
honest
questions he couldn't do.
commentary and give
But I
all the
took 2
facts. I
cognitive
think
tests. I took physical exams every year, and you know,
I'm
knock on wood,
a
wherever we may have
test it at the beginning
I'm
of
very
next
good
week.
health.
I'm
I
a
just
test
won
it at the
2
beginning
club
of next week.
championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart.
And if you don't see the
have to
video
hit the
pop
ball
up,
the
I
long way.
failed with my
And I do it.
testing,
He
but
doesn't do it.
I'm
He
a
can't hit
test
the
it.
ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think
Yeah,
I'm in very good
because
shape. I
running
feel
the
that is in
running
good
the
shape for
country
last 25, 30 years. Actually, I'm probably
is
a
the
little bit
same
lighter,
as playing
but
golf.
I'm in as
Jesus,
good a shape as I was.
bitch, we all know you
years
cheated
ago. I feel
golf.
very good. I feel the same. But I was willing to take a cognitive test. And you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced them.
You
Dr.
don't
Ronnie
ace
Johnson,
a
who's
cognitive
good
test,
friend,
and you
he was
didn't
great
take a
myself,
real
but we went to
cognitive
another
test.
one, the
You
senior
don't,
one. And one of them said they'd never seen anybody ace them.
Thank you.
because nobody aces them. It's
Yes,
not an
I
A,
do.
B, C, D, E,
65,
F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S.
Well, you said
It's not a
6,000,
pass.
600. Well, anyway, that's it. Just take a look at what he says. He doesn't take the word he is. Look, I've been happy to have
Celebrate
teachers
me
today.
home.
I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's the biggest lie. He's a 6 handicap of all.
I was at 8
Trump,
handicap.
the biggest lie is you having trophies for golf.
I've seen
Can we wrap this up? Hey,
President Trump, we're going to
stop calling him fucking Can we?
specific
Hey,
concerns
timekeeper.
that voters
Let's
have
go.
about you. Will you pledge tonight?
First of all, stop putting
that
white
once
women
all legal
as
challenges
moderators.
have
Can
been
we
exhausted, that you will
can we
accept
flood the
the results of
comments
this
and just say
election,
that?
regardless of
Just
the
let me
terms?
do it, okay?
And
I got the perfect
you will say
outfits
right now
for
that
it.
political violence in any form is unacceptable.
Well, I shouldn't have to say that, but of course I believe that.
No,
It's
you don't.
Totally unacceptable. And if you would see my statements that I made on Twitter at the time, and also
Your
my statements
nose
that I
is
made at the
sweating.
press
I
club,
ain't
you
never
would say it's
seen
one of the
that.
strongest statements you've ever seen. In
Your
addition to the
nose
speech
is
I made
sweating.
in front of, I believe, the largest crowd I've ever spoken
Your
to. And I
nose
will
is
tell you,
sweating
nobody
in
ever talks about that. They talk about
like a
a
Hitler
relatively small
stash.
number of people that went to the Capitol.
It's sweating to the
In
point
many
where we
cases,
can
were
see
ushered in
it.
by the police. And as Nancy Pelosi said, it was her responsibility,
Right.
not mine. She said that
Masculine.
loud and clear.
Come on.
But the answer is, if the
We are
president is
Sparta.
for
Your
him, I
face.
want
Come
that
on.
more than
No, look
anybody.
up.
And I'll
Glare
tell
him
you
down.
something.
Glare him down. Bitch,
I wish he was
do
a great
you not
president.
watch
Because he would be
WWE?
here right
You
now.
need to
I
figure
think
out what The
that
Rock
one
is
of the
cooking
many
and cook it.
cases in
Okay,
doing
cook
this,
him.
I wouldn't
Okay,
be under
you
indictment
look,
because
no,
I wouldn't
look,
have been his political appointment.
turn your face. Turn your
Because
face.
he indicted
Look at
me
him. Look,
because I was
look,
disappointed.
look at him.
I wish
Look
he
at
was a
him.
great
Be like, we
president.
are
I would
Sparta.
rather have that.
That-
I wouldn't
No,
be
no,
here.
don't look
My
away.
money
Look
would
the
be
other way.
here. The only
Look,
reason I'm
turn.
nervous is so
turn.
bad as a president
Joseph.
that I'm
Jojo.
gonna make America great again.
Jojo.
We're going to make
Jo-
America great again.
Jo-
We're a failing nation right now. We're a seriously failing
Make America
nation.
great.
And
When the
we're
fuck
failing
was
nation
America great?
because of him. His
Jojo.
policies are so bad. His military policies are insane. They're insane.
Jojo.
These
Jo-
wars have
you're
been never
Irish.
again. He was
You're
lost in
Irish,
World War
Jojo.
II, and we're closer to World War III
Channel, you're in
than anybody
America.
could imagine.
Where's
We are very, very
Merida?
close to World War III.
Get
And
your
he's
boy
getting
now.
it. And Kim Jong
Where's
Un
Merida?
and
Joe.
President Xi of China, Kim Jong Un,
Joe.
all of these.
The spirit of old Donna boy is
They have nothing
Joe.
wrong with this gentleman. and he's
Joe.
gonna drive us into World War III.
Joe.
We're in World War III.
Joe.
Him follow and win. And
Merida
that's
turned
what
her
we
whole
do.
mama into a
Let's do it
bear to prove a
This is
point,
Article 5.
and then went to go fuck up the bear that wanted to fuck up her bear mama to prove another point.
Idea. I can't think of
Oh
a single
shit!
black
Well, that
person
was
in the world
creepy.
who would trade places with a job
That
like that
was
with that guy.
what Slender
Because
Man
their
nightmares are
population
made out
is
of,
wonderful.
Joe.
It's
What
because
the
of the
fuck?
people, not
Joe?
just because of the American people.
Joe?
The kids
Joe, you
ready
can't
to
have
step up and
incestuous
lead.
built
And right
eyes
now, we're ready.
and
And we
open
need
them
to
that
protect the
wide
world because
after
they're all safe
failed
as a state.
Botox. What the
And
fuck
again,
is you
we
doing,
want to have
Joe?
war. Just let Putin
Jo-
go ahead and
Joe?
take Kyiv. Make sure
Jo-
they
Joe?
move on, see what happens in Poland, Hungary, and other places along that border. Then you have a war.
Joe, we got to war with you.
For a follow-up, the question was,
Why
would
is
you
your shirt
accept the
crumpled up
results of
like
this
that?
election, regardless of who wins?
Baby, you didn't even need a
This is
shirt
what
underneath
he
that.
said
You
is
just
a lot.
needed a good, you know what? Never mind.
Russia, they took a lot of land from Bush. They took a lot of land
I
from
think we need to wage a
Obama and
campaign.
Biden. They
Put
took
me in
no
charge.
land, nothing from Trump.
Put
Nothing.
me
He
in,
knew not
coach.
to do it.
Put me
Not
in,
gonna play
coach.
games with me. He knew that. I got
You
along with
playing
him very
games
well,
with
but he knew
everything.
not to play games. He took nothing from me.
Everybody in Trump
But now
camp
he's gonna
getting
take the
games.
whole thing. This man right here.
Milton
It's a
Bradley
war that
and,
should have never started. It
and
would have never
Uno
started
running
ever
things.
with me. And he's going to take
He
Ukraine.
think he playing
And,
checkers,
you know,
but
you
he
asked me a
think he
question before,
playing
would you
chess,
do
but
this with-
it's
He's
checkers.
got us in such a bad position right now with Ukraine and Russia.
Can you stop moving
Because
your
Ukraine's
hands
not
in
winning
and
that
out?
war. He said, I will never settle until such time. They're running out of people. They're running out of soldiers. They've lost so many
We
people.
run out of
So
patience
sad.
with both of y'all.
They've lost so many people, and they've lost those gorgeous cities. With
Oh,
the
Mimo and
Peppa
Peppa supposed to be worried about sticking pineapple emojis in the front yard so they can bump undercarriages with people. Are we done or are we finished? Can we? When is this shit end?
Fair and legal and good election.
When
Absolutely.
are we done? Oh, Sin, you should have been here from the beginning because I'm hilarious.
And everything else was
But,
ridiculous. And if you want, we'll have a news conference on it in a week, or we'll have another one of these in a week. But
I just left an event where there was a
absolutely,
literal
there's
dead
nothing I
body,
can do. It would be much
and that was
easier
more
for me to do that
entertaining.
than I'm running again.
Stand
I
up,
wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job.
bitch. Neither one of y'all
He's
can
destroying
run.
our country. I would be very happy to be someplace else in a nice location, someplace. And again,
We know
no
because you
indictments,
need
no
some place that they're not going
political
to
stuff,
extradite
because it's
you.
the only way he thinks he can win. But unfortunately, it's driven up by numbers and driven them up to a very
You
high
don't
level,
have the
because people
fucking number.
understand it.
You know what?
We'll
Yeah,
see what your numbers are.
I'm beginning to
Let's
wonder about
figure
your
out.
children. Okay,
Let's
if
see.
they didn't have a
You're
lack
lying.
of chin
You
like
lost
you
the
had a
first
lack of
time.
chin
You see,
before
you continue
plastic
to
surgery,
prove
I
it
would
in
wonder about the
courts all across the
paternity of
country.
your
Not
children.
One single
Um,
court
and actually,
said any points
I'm
at
still
any
wondering.
state or local. None. But you continue to provoke
You,
this lie about somehow there's all this misrepresentation.
Joe,
all this
let your
greed.
balls
There's
drop.
no
Let the
evidence
bass hit
of
your
that at all.
voice.
And I tell you what,
Can
I
you
got it,
finally
it's
let your
because
balls
you're
drop,
lying.
JoJo?
And
Can
I
you
did
just
it for
tell him to
you,
go
and
sit in
you
the
had
corner?
second interview.
Call
You
him
did
the
say you
convict
lost,
that
so
he
you
is,
snapped on
okay?
your boss last night.
We'll be right back with more from the CNN presidential debate, live from Georgia.
Live from Georgia, my ass. Oh, all them ugly ass kids is definitely his. Because they got their faces due to plastic surgery. I was just being facetious because I can't stand none of them. Oh, Trump got a boatload of grandchildren. Does he know who the grandchildren are? And I can tell you why nobody ever asked him about his grandchildren, because he publicly in an interview, and this is why you see a lot of white cisgendered conservative MAGA men want conservative trad wives, because he said that the women are for just raising the children. But let's be real. Trump didn't start losing money exponentially until he was forced to be divorced from Ivana, because Ivana was the business mastermind. This is a woman who took a divorce settlement and translated it over to multi-millions, where she admitted at this point, I'm a buy penis. And Ivanka is showing that even though she worked for her daddy because he was willing to pad her paycheck because of his incestuous feelings regarding her, that she learned from her mother, hand over fist. So, yeah. And as far as Eric, no. The longstanding family tradition is within the Trump family, the Trump family, if you will, they made a point of the firstborn of the same gender being named after someone, and then they would hate them, like actively hate them. And Donnie knew this. Because Fred Trump to Fred Trump Jr., he knew this, and he knew that he exploited it. So he wanted to instill competition in his sons, because since he was on the outside looking in, like many people do, he never got into New York society. He never got into societal life. And as somebody who's been on the inside of high society life, when you're infighting with your family, you're not going to climb the ranks of anything else. So while Trump is having everybody chomp at the bit and be like, oh, I want to fight for this position, you can't fight for a position that's already been given. And people who think that I'm being petty, when I make it publicly known for my own safety, how things work in my family because of how things have gone before, legal is legal. Legal is legal. And when things are put in order and you got to play nice because you need somebody's signature, it's all on you. Oh, and his grandkids? Yeah, don't ever feel bad about what y'all buy for y'all kids and what the what you put your kids in. Because these self-proclaimed billionaires,
$1,000 had a single penny increase in their taxes and will not. And if I read that,
Don has always been a con.
This guy has increased your taxes because of the deficit. Number one, he's increased inflation because of the debacle he left after the way he handled the pandemic, and he finds himself in a position where.
Okay. Real quick, and I do this a lot. Jojo, if I'm not going to allow him to lie, I'm not going to allow you to lie. Inflation is not something that the president of the United States has any control over. It is a global thing. Did this dumb fuck make some mistakes? Yes. Did he fuck some shit up? Yes. But you had the opportunity within the United States to be honest with the people within the United States and call CEOs, COOs, and CFOs to the table, because you knew that the price hikes that they were putting in and putting out in press releases that were attached to inflation was bullshit, and you didn't. So you don't get to play, oh, inflation was his problem. No. Stop lying to people. As I said before, in this broadcast alone, I'm going to say again, if you are honest with people and educate them on how things work, you will get more votes. But trying to play his game where he doesn't even have a game plan, he just has conversations that he's concocted in his head that he needs to push out, ain't the way to go. So stop. Full stop. Because temporary power leads to long-term destruction for the country as a whole. Education is elevation. Shout out to Conscious Lee.
The Palestinians, and we have everybody else rioting all over the place. You talk about Charlottesville. This is 100 times Charlottesville, 1,000 times. The whole country is exploding because of you, because they don't respect you, and they have to respect their president, and they don't respect you throughout the world.
Charlottesville was under your watch, numbnuts. And Trump.
We got the largest tax cut in history, the largest regulation cut in history. The reason he's got jobs is because I cut the regulations and gave jobs, but he's putting a lot of those regulations back on. All of the things,
baby, putting us in harm's way is not giving us regulations.
Right to try, where we can try space age materials instead of going to Asia or going to Europe and trying to get, when you're terminally ill, now you can go and you can get something. You sign it.
No, we don't.
To get it for 42 years. But you know what we did for the military was incredible choice for our soldiers, where our soldiers, instead of waiting for 3 months to see a doctor, can go out and get themselves fixed up and readied up.
No, you can't, because you haven't increased
and that's why I had the highest
the number of VA hospitals. So you haven't increased the pay so that the budget, so that they could hire more people.
Thank you, former President Trump.
Thank
President
you.
Biden. Stay with us because we have full analysis of this debate. Anderson Cooper and Aaron Burnett starts now on CNN.
Are we done with the fucking debate? Oh, I hate you bitches. I hate you bitches.
Coverage of the CNN presidential debate. President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump just squared off in a historic presidential debate. It was the earliest such.
Oh. Hold on. They're bringing commentators out. This is what I'm seeing right now. Commentators coming out. Oh. Says Biden-Trump wrap first presidential debate. So we're going to call it a night. But before we do, let me say this. One, thank you all for always rocking with me for my commentary. And especially thank you for rocking with me tonight, as it's truly, truly hitting me tonight of my aunt's passing. Some will understand, some won't. But thank you. So, love you guys. And don't forget, next week, I can never remember. For some people, this will make sense. For some people, it won't. But go with me. I can never remember dates, but I can remember what I need to do on dates. So, next week, we'll be back with Pam. You know, I found a white girl. I found a white girl. Although Pam is non-binary. Pam brought the joke to me, and we're running with it because we like it. Okay? And I will be back in my comfort zone because I'll be back home. If you know, you know. So, once again, thank you all. Each one teach one. Each one reach one. If you haven't checked out Camp Taz, link trees in the bio, whether here or on TikTok, I think y'all like it. But as always, thank you, thank you, thank you. share this, and I may have some more commentary for y'all later. But if you do decide to come back to this podcast, bring a friend with you. We're fun. We have snacks. And if you would ever like to join the panel, just text me, email me at asktaz77, numerically, at gmail.com. We'll get you on. I don't discriminate. I'm willing to sit down and talk to anybody. But love y'all. And let me reach back to the decade in which I was born. Peace, love, and hair grease. Till the next debate.